everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It is Thursday, April 29th, and it is 8 p.m. I'm Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts, and I appreciate you stopping by and taking a look here at our creative ventures. Hope you're having a good week. We are getting there. This week's getting towards the end, as usual, on my Thursday night broadcast here. I appreciate you stopping in. Like I said, it's kind of fun to have something to kind of look forward to, and I'm trying to get this business of mine off the ground a little bit more, and trying to plan some fun things to do to get together with people. I think that's what a lot of us are kind of lacking sometimes, just finding something to do that can be fun and low stress, and that creative outlet too helps. Hi Joanne, thanks for stopping by, appreciate it. So I am going to be talking about a technique tonight that is called reverse masking. So I don't know, I seem to gravitate towards different kinds of techniques a lot. I just really love doing that kind of thing. Like, what can I come up with, and just trying different ways to manipulate some of the products that we have and come up with something different and unique, that kind of thing. So tonight's going to be reverse masking, and I'll show you that in a bit. First of all, I was going to show and talk a little bit about some of the things coming up, because this is a big time during Stampin' Up's day, or year I should say. It's a big time of year for us because our new annual catalog goes live on May 4th. So those of you who are tuning in a little later, hopefully I'll be able to answer a lot of your questions, but don't be afraid to contact me if you, well, let's see, no, that's not my email, is it? That is my website if you need to shop for anything on May 4th or past that, or if you need any products. And but you're going to be able to contact me if you need anything too. If you need a catalog and you don't have one, I did send some out to my customers that have ordered from me in the past year, and I think most people have gotten theirs. If you haven't, or you don't have a demonstrator that you work with, then let me know, and I'm happy to get you a catalog. A couple of things. So May 4th is when our new catalog goes live, and a whole lot of other things are happening too. Where to begin? So we have a few things going on that are going to be coming up. It's a lot to take in, so we'll just kind of, I'll put it out there, and then if there's something that sounds interesting to you, you know, maybe put it in the back of your mind or whatever. But we are going to have a Paper Pumpkin Subscribe-a-thon, where if you've never ordered a paper pumpkin before, they are going to have that available starting on May 7th, if you've never done it before, for $5. $5. A one-time thing while supplies last. And this time is going to be about baseball. I'm going to show you a flyer here in a minute when I put my camera down. And so that is going to be an exciting, kind of a fun thing to try. I mean, what have you got to lose for that price, right? And I've talked about Paper Pumpkin before. You know, it's that all-inclusive set that comes to your through the mail every month. The 10th of every month is the deadline for ordering for that month. So the one that I was talking about for baseball, May 10th is the cutoff. And that promotion, if it's something you are interested in, is May 7th. But I'll get more information out to you for that. They are also going to be trying to really give people incentives for ordering. If you happen to host, if you're hosting a party or a get-together, they're going to give extra rewards for that too. So you already get like Stampin' Rewards, and you can, depending on how much your party can, how much you get for that, or how much the sales are, then you can get a certain percentage of Stampin' Rewards from that order. But they're also going to do a little extra $25 bonus from May 4th to June 14th coming up. So that's going to be a little bonus too. So if you want to get some friends together and do something, it can be virtual, it can be with, you know, in person, if we can find the right place to do that, that everybody would feel good about it. We can talk, okay? so we can look at that, and you could have a little get together. And Stampin' Up! Has a ton of new stuff, so you're not going to be short on any ideas on things to try and look at. All right. Also, if you're interested in being part of my team, I just want to grow my team, and it's just so much fun because we get together and we can see products earlier, and we can have extra training, and we can do fun virtual events, and we can do, there's just so much going on. We have our own Facebook groups, and we show each other ideas, and it's really more of a friendship. We're not like going against one another or competing. So you just get to have a networking of like-minded friends, and that's what this is. If you join between May 4th and May 31st, join the Stampin' Up! Team, join my team. I have a team called the Kit Crew. Keep in Touch Crafts is my business, so my Kit Crew needs to get a little bigger, but I'm still doing everything, and I have everything ready for my crew. I just need more crew members, so feel free to join me if it's something you're interested in. And what happens here during that the month of May, from May 4th to the 31st, is instead of the $125 worth of product for $99, you get $155 worth of product for $99. And it also includes some promotional materials and a catalog. You get to choose what those $155 worth of products are, which is really cool. And you also get like a free past paper pumpkin. There's just a lot to it. So feel free to join. Let me know if you have any questions. What else do we have going on? I think that's about it for now. Except for the really fun thing is I am going to have my first big event. We'll see if it's big, but my first event that I'm going to try on Zoom. Okay, and it's going to be a lot of fun because I have been putting together a bunch of goodies, and what we're going to do is it's a Sunday evening, what is the date? May 16th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. would be all on Zoom, and we're going to be having a catalog kickoff with some bingo. So I've always loved bingo. I don't know if you do, but I've just always thought it was fun. You don't have to think hard and have a lot of skills, but it's that game of chance, and it's just for fun, and we'll be getting all kinds of some prizes that are brand new and fun things that we're going to be winning with the bingo game. But also, it's for $39, and you're going to be getting a big packet of supplies to make at least 4 different projects. And you get Memories and More card kit, and you get some cards and envelopes to go with it, and all the supplies and all the stuff to make those 4 projects. And the Memories and More kit is a full kit, so that you're going to have things left over so that you'll be able to make a bunch of things on your own too afterwards. And so I'm going to be emailing out the information on this very soon here. Just wanted to give you a heads up. You can be thinking about that and seeing if it works with your schedule. So it'll be a lot of fun to join me, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so what we're going to do here is get going on our masking technique. I'm going to put the camera down, and we will get to crafting, get to the fun. Ooh, looks like I kind of scooted things around here. All right, so here is our work surface for today. I'm going to gather my materials. All right, so I will explain that. And these are some other goodies that we will be using. The stamp set that I'm using tonight is there's a glare there. This is Color and Contour. This is out of the new catalog. And it comes with a really, really cool die set. And that set looks like this. And see all these dies? I mean, these are just amazing. Look at all these. There are a lot. Each one's a little different. And like this one just kind of scores the line a little bit on there. And they just all have their own kind of their own look to them, and they kind of nest together like this. So it's going to be just super handy to be able to use that. And you do cut out a couple of things that you can cut out here, the flower, and here's a bouquet type of grouping. Scallop edge on there as well. So I am using these to make kind of like a stencil, but it's a reverse mask. So I don't know if you're familiar with how to do a masking technique. I've done some of the classes on that before. And so what you do for a typical masking, let's see, I'm trying to see how I should explain that. Should have had that ready. So see, I'm going to pull out this little piece right here. And this is just a little post-it note. It's all marked up and everything. But normally what you would do is, let's say you would stamp your image on your project. Okay? Okay, so normally I'm going to get my flower out here. And, okay. This is how we have our photopolymer stamps now, so they have the image, and you can just kind of keep them right on the inside of the case like that, and they just stick right on. So I kind of like that, because then you can easily see if you're missing anything. This is a nice set. It's got the background, like little spots and that kind of thing on there, which I've always kind of liked those. Add texture. I'm going to be using that one in a bit. But anyways, I'm just showing you an example of just, you know, typical masking. Okay, so if you have your project that you're working on and you are stamping it, and let's say you're making a background with a bunch of flowers on it. I'm going to grab some blue. I'm focusing on blue here tonight a lot. This is our Misty Moonlight. So let's say you want to have some images, and you want to have some right next to each other, but you don't want to have the images like layered so much that it muddies it up. I don't know if that makes sense. But what I'm going to show you is, this is the same. I just actually used the die cut, and I cut out this die that I just showed you. I'm going to grab that, guys. Here. I just cut this out, right, and it's a post-it note, so there's adhesive on it. So typical masking is done, zoom in just a little. Typical masking is done where you cover up your image that you already stamped, and then you can stamp and keep that protected. So you would go like that. Whoops, and it pulled it right off. But do you see how it protected this image and made it look like it's in the front? And you can do that. That's our standard way of masking. But tonight I'm going to do the reverse. And so it kind of reminds me of, like, if you're doing a kind of like a stencil look almost. What I did, I took some scrap paper, and we have a new punch. And I'm going to find that punch here, you guys, because I thought maybe I should show it to you. It's from the new catalog. Oh gosh, where did I put it? Okay, it's hiding from me in plain sight. I know that it's just right here, right in front of my face. What I did was, it's just got this look to it. Can you see that? Yeah, here it is. And then I just went ahead and punched it all the way around on a square piece of paper. And so instead of using the piece that comes out of it on your project, I'm going to almost make this like a stencil, or like it's a reverse mask. So instead of covering up so I can stamp around it, I'm going to be using this as a way of inking up a background and making just kind of an unusual geometric type of a background. So what you need a lot of are, like post-it notes, and you want to kind of keep your image in its place. So what I'm going to do here is start off with getting this just kind of on my grid paper, semi-straight on the paper. And I'm going to get a little blue tape here, painter's tape. You know, it has low tack, so it doesn't rip it. just going to go like that, just barely have it on there. And then I'm going to take this template that I made with my punches, the elegant punches that are in the new catalog. And I'm just wondering what I did with it. Oh my goodness, it's going to drive me crazy now. Because I've been using it like all day. So yeah, maybe, I think Craig must have come in here and pulled it off. I'm sorry, guys. Elegant Tag Punch. There we go. Elegant Tag Punch. So you can see that I took some scrap paper. You could use like, you know, any of the cardboard type, something kind of sturdy. And I just went around, found the center, and punched all the way around on a 6 by 6 inch piece of cardstock. And so what I'm going to do then is try to get this pretty much in the center and straight and square, sort of, if I can, which is, you know, can be a challenge. But I think I got to go this way more, don't I? So I'm just kind of taking my time to get it to about where I want it. I kind of want it in the center, but I don't know if it's not exactly like that. That's okay too. I am getting that taped down on the corners there. And then I'm going to use some blues. This one, the example I'm going to do today right now is going to be a blue. I'm going to use a few different blue colors, and I'm going to use one of our blending brushes. I know I've used these before, and right now we don't even have these. I'm just cleaning it off right now. You can see I was using other colors. I should maybe use a clean one. Just trying to get that color off. I could use a clean one, I suppose, a new one, but I just hate, you know, a lot of times you can get it kind of cleaned off. Maybe better. All right, I'm going to break out a clean one. These can be cleaned and then let dry too overnight. I just didn't want to get pink in with blue because that might not be pretty. But so I'm going to probably put a little soap and a little bit of water on here tonight, and then kind of clean it off, let it rinse well, and then have it, just leave it this way to make sure that the water doesn't pool in the bottom of the bristles. So overnight you leave it down like that to dry properly. And so I'm going to use a new one. These are not orderable right now because they're just, everybody's been loving them and snatching them up. So when you're able to order, a set of 3 comes in these blending brushes. If you don't have this, you could use a sponge, you could use a dauber, whatever you have to kind of blend ink. So I am starting with, the lightest is the Balmy Blue, and there's no one way to do this, so it's kind of fun, is just kind of you play, right? So these are real smooth and blend really nice, just real soft. And so what I want to do is make sure I am not lifting up this little stencil thing at all. And so I have to kind of see how smooth they are on there. It's because they're so soft that they just glide across your stencil really easily. And you can just easily put that color down, and it just layers very lightly, which is nice. You're not going to have a big blotchy mess. And so what I'm going to do then is get a little bit darker as I go down and out. I want to have part of it a little bit lighter. I don't want just a uniform color. So now I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight color. And I just don't want a big blob of it to go on at first. So I'm kind of lightly trying to get this on here without any blobs. And I focus on the edges a little bit more than I do on the center. Now I am using a different size for this one. I have cardstock here that is just 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to use that on a card that's just a square 4 by 4. So I have the Misty Moonlight base that I have, and it's 4 by 8 scored in half at 4. So it's just a square 4 by 4 size card. You can do this, of course, whatever size you want. I'm going to show you sizes, or I mean examples of different colors and then you can just do it for whatever project you're wanting. Now I'm going to kind of start putting a little bit more color down here because I want some more different tones of it. I don't want a big blob like that. That's easy enough to do, but I'll try to blend that in a little bit. Just don't like to have a big blob. And I am going to be stamping over this, so I just want to make sure that I'm not laying on the color too dark so that whatever I stamp doesn't show. That wouldn't be good. And they don't have to all be exactly the same and all perfect because it's kind of almost like an ombre and different tones, just however you want it to look. But I kind of like, I just want it to, I want you to be able to see that it's not just something that was manufactured that way. This is something that I did, and doesn't have to look perfect that way. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of get a little bit darker in a few spots. And maybe just across from each other will be darker and the others will be lighter, whatever. Ooh, it's starting to scoot on me. That's not good. Okay, so I don't like it when it gets really blotchy like that, so I'm trying to get rid of that blotchiness there. All right, you're probably thinking, that's a mess. Well, it's kind of cool actually, right? Like, look at that. I think it's kind of cool. My favorite color is blue, so I love that. I think it would be good to maybe have some darker in a few places, but I think for now I'm just going to leave it like that. And that's just showing you some of the different geometric kind of a look that you can get from the actual punches, and it's just like the opposite way that you would normally use a punch, right? So what I'm going to do then is I want to have an image, just a little bit of a flower image. I could just do something right in the middle here. I could do things on the corners here like that. You know, you kind of just see what happens. So originally, here's the image that comes, I don't know if it comes on this in this stamp set there. I really would want it to show. I'm afraid if I would use this, that it just is going to get lost. So I think I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to use this other one. And I think I'm going to use it on these areas here. And I'm going to bring that stencil back. I'm not sure which way I had it for sure, if it was right here. I think so. Okay, and then I'm going to use that just to cover up the areas I don't want the stamped image to go onto. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to get the darkest blue that I have, which is the Night of Navy, and we're going to just do the outline part of this image here in the Night of Navy. I just want this in place. And I'll be adding more things onto it in a second here. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a real hand-lettered kind of a look, or hand-drawn kind of a look, I guess. It's not like precise and perfect. It has that look of handmade. And one more. Okay. So there is the outline, and then we can decide, well, do we want the inside of the petals colored? And there's two ways to do that. I am going to take this one off. I should have cleaned it. Where's my, I will real quick. It's gonna, otherwise I'm going to get stuff everywhere. I just have a little half of a, what do you call this guy? Hi Cindy, thanks for coming on. Yeah, it's real different, isn't it? Kind of a kind of a weird look to this, but it's kind of one of those things that you play with and you kind of change it and do different things each time, and it's just kind of fun to play. And so I think I'm not going to go with the dark colored in look here. I think I might actually, you know, this lines up and you can do that, but what I'm going to do, I think, is actually just use use my blends and just do kind of a light coloring in. Oh, it's not too light, is it? And the thing about this is it can be very imperfect, and it's okay, and it's the way that this kind of a look is. It's not colored in perfectly. You can leave some of the color showing, not colored in, you know what I mean? It's just real loose and hand done. And it's kind of hard to maybe get used to being able to do that, like just letting it be the way it is. But it's kind of what you're seeing these days is kind of that loose, handmade look. And so you can go ahead and just be very imperfect and quick, and you just kind of do whatever you want with it. And you can say, I meant to do that, right? Like so. I don't want to get it in the white though. That's one area I'm trying to avoid. I think I can do that. So I'm just using the brush end of one of my blends. It really probably wouldn't matter a whole lot even what color I'm using. But what am I using? This is the Light Misty Moonlight. So that's what I use there. And then these two, I'll use a different one. Maybe I'll use Night of Navy, or what do we got? Well, this is the Dark Misty Moonlight. I just happened to grab that one. And so we'll just kind of get some navy down there. I don't even think you, or not navy. Misty Moonlight, this is the dark. I don't know if you can really tell a lot of difference on there. But I can see that this end of it's mangled, so it's not, I'm going to have to replace this, it's not really going on, like the end got, it's really kind of soft and doesn't really hold its shape very well anymore. Probably because it's blue and it's my favorite color, so I use it all the time. Okay, like so. And we'll repeat that over here. You could use light blue. You could use whatever colors you would want. And I'm trying to stay away from the white, but I didn't right there. I messed up. Okay, like so. All right, so that is about done there. One thing I wanted to show you that I've discovered is if you have a gel pen, that looks really nice on these too. Sometimes you can make like dots in the middle. You can make little highlight marks on there or something if you want. Little, marks of just different kinds. You can color in with it. Probably, now there was an area I think that I went out of the line. I wonder if I can color that. And ooh, look at that, would ya? Yay, it kind of hit it. So that's kind of fun. So you could just decide what to do with your gel pen and what kind of marks you want to make on there. You can just make white lines like I'm doing on this one. You can just do highlights. You can just correct boo-boos would be another thing you could do. But I'm just going to kind of do a little bit here on these opposite two. I'm not going to do that on these two just because I wanted to do that. See, you get to be the boss, and then it's right. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I'm not usually such a quick, uneven crafter that's so messy and that kind of thing. But yeah, we're kind of going loose tonight and letting it go. Okay, I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. Some little places where the ink kind of went out of bounds a little bit, or where I didn't want it to be. This white kind of cleans that up. Okay, so here is our our card front, and well, at least the one layer. So then I am bringing in this Misty Moonlight, and I already scored it, and this would go on here like that, and you know, that's all well and good. But I was hoping to be able to somehow get our, we have some paper out now, and I'll get that and show you. Some specialty papers that are really fun. I'm going to kind of cover up my work area here, guys, just so I can show you. So this one is, oh man, sorry. It's called the Ombre Specialty Paper, and I didn't really realize that it is so glittery looking. It's just really cool. And ombre, of course, goes from light to dark. And I should maybe go out a little bit. Ooh, that shows like way too much of my desktop. Okay, so you can kind of see how that looks. It's very, it's glittery, but it doesn't come off. So I just went and took a strip off, and I'm going to use that on my project tonight, and I'm going to get a little bit of all of the color. But that is one of the colors, and there's this gorgeous, it's kind of reminds me of the Fresh Freesia all the way to the Gorgeous Grape, kind of, on this one. So pretty. And then this one is more of the yellows, so I suppose kind of the, oh, Bumblebee, the, what is it, Mango Melody or whatever. Am I wrong? Bumblebee, kind of pale papaya maybe. And then there's more of this color. This is the other one. So I'm kind of off to the side a little. Sorry, guys. Wow, is that gorgeous or what? Chamois, thank you. You are really good at that, Joanne. I'm noticing that I sit there and I kind of like hum and haw, and I'm looking for a word, and then I forget about it, and then I look up, and here you have it for me, so thank you. All right, so that is one of them. And that's one of the papers that the adhesive is sticking all over the place. Now, I was going to show you another thing is the Shimmer Vellum. And it's another gorgeous thing that looks nice with whatever projects you're doing. So here is the new, it's in the in colors. So then this one is the new pinkish color, which is called Polished Pink. And it's really, one side of it is just matte. No, the back is just like a matte, and the front is just real shimmery, almost looks kind of wet, and it is, you can see through it somewhat. It's, oh, my hand's really that dirty. Wow. I'm just not a neat crafter. So that's the Polished Pink, and then we have the here is the Soft Succulent color. You can see I've punched a bunch of them out with my punch just to have a sample. I made some samples of it. Really beautiful greenish color. And then that is more of the same. Now this is the darker, the Evening Evergreen. That is pretty. I can see that with Christmas. It doesn't really show the green too much on the recording, I don't think. It looks kind of more gray or black, but in person, this is definitely a deep jade, deep green color. But it's not as much like, you know how we have Mossy Meadow. I was going to show you. Gosh, where is it here? So here's a Mossy Meadow. That's more of a, I don't know, yellowy green. Whereas our Evening Evergreen's more of a, I think of it as a jade. I don't know. It's more of a blue-green, I guess. And then that Succulent kind of goes with that as well. So our Mossy Meadow is a little different hue, or different color family almost. And I'm kind of thinking of the, oh, like Mint Macaron. That's a little brighter, but even like Garden Green is a little bright as well. But anything that's kind of, like we had just Jade, I think that's kind of another one that kind of goes in that color family. But Evening Evergreen is what this vellum is. And I don't think it's really picking up that color very well. But that's what we have for our vellums. All the new colors, fresh freesia, and then we have the pale papaya as well. And this one is really going to look pretty. There's a new sweet that has to do with peaches. Just peachy, I think it might be called. I think I can see this being really pretty with that as well. So lots of fun stuff coming and beautiful papers to use on our project. So, as I was saying, I was going to try to find a way to get the blue on there. And so I could just cut down this base a little bit and kind of have that showing. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do for sure with that. I could put it over it, I suppose, but I hate to cover it up. It's really not a very big card, so I think if I do anything, I'm just going to trim down a little bit off of each side, and then I can just kind of have a little bit of this peeking out. Very little border is what I'll do on this. So I'm going to get my trimmer, and I'm going to trim down the my card base here, or not the base, but this layer, because right now it's about where I would want it to be. You know, it's got a nice size border around it, but if I want to get a little bit of this bling color, a little bit of sparkle, I'm just going to do that on two sides of it. Maybe I'll just do it on these two sides, and then these two I won't. So in order to do that, though, I need to trim this off a little bit. So I am going to trim off about probably 1/8 of an inch on each side. There's 1/8, and here's going to be 1/8. Then I will put that back on with just the sparkle. Woo, there we go. I gotta have you be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, like that. Alrighty, so you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. It's like, just I gotta get some of this pretty border in here. I just love that. I think it's so pretty. Just adds a little bit of shimmer on the edge. So what I'm gonna do then is put some adhesive. You can see blends always bleed through. That's a good reminder to show you guys that you want to make sure you're not just going to be using blends right on a card. And then, yeah, that's the side I want. I'm going to put some on that side and some on this side. Yeah, the blends do bleed through, so you kind of want to plan that as you're doing your projects. So I'm going to have a little bit on this one. Just kind of want a nice even edge. I will be trimming that off. And then this one has the darker end of it. So it kind of shows the darker strip to that ombre, you know, that ombre glittery specialty paper or whatever it's called. I just think it's so pretty. You wouldn't even have to use that on here, but it's like I have to come up with an idea of how to use it because I like it. Oops, my cord fell down out of the way. All right, so I can maybe zoom in a little bit more this time. Yay, Aunt Cindy's watching. Okay, so we are just trimming that down a little bit, and I'm going to be putting that onto my card front. Let's see which way I want to go. I'm going to go probably like that. I could have done more, probably, because it looks like I have a little bit bigger. I'm going to trim off these edges now a little bit to keep it more even. I probably could have put a little bit bigger of a edge of the glittery paper on there if I could have probably done more, but since I went a little light, then I think I need it trimmed up just a bit to make it more even. Don't want to go too much. Okay. All right, so I will be adhering this on, and then we're going to need some kind of a focal point or maybe a message or whatever on there. I'm going to use dimensionals, and then nobody will see all my big mess on the bottom. you're stamping flaws or whatever, but nobody knows that. That's why paper has two sides. You can mess up one side and then have the other side how you want it. And looks like I'm getting plenty of those on there. Another thing I'm going to do though before I put that on is going to get some twine. And I love this, what is this? Well-Suited Twine Combo. This is in our current mini catalog, and I'm going to use the blue, and I am going to just wrap that around and kind of put a, I'm going to wrap that around and embellish the front before I stick it down, if I can find the end. So I think what I'm going to do is, let me see which way I want it to go. What I like to do, and this is just me, but I usually take a little piece of like just Scotch tape or whatever. You can use the dimensional to do this as well if you want. But I'm going to just tape this down on on the back, and then I wrap it around 1, 2, 3 times or so. And then I'm going to trim this off with my trusty little ribbon scissors. Okay, and then I am going to tape this down. And again, you do have a dimensional here. That would be fine too if you would just use the adhesive from the dimensional. I just like to adhere it with the tape on the back, and then I know it's nice and sturdy. And then what I usually do is have on one side I kind of gather it together, and then on the other I spread it apart, so it kind of just adds some interest, I guess you'd say. But I am going to have to hop it over one of these. It's got a hop over a dimensional. Oh, goodness. And it peeled off the... Okay, that I should have just done it the way I wanted to and put it right on the dimensional like I said. But anyways, I like to spread apart one side and have the other side gathered together. That makes sense? So you kind of go like that. It's going to be covered up anyways for the most part, but that's kind of one way I like to do it. I might put a little bow on there, or just our center thing will cover that up as well. So I will go ahead and put this on now. Take all the little liners off. It's easier and quicker if I would use my take your pick tool, but I'm being lazy. All right, now I am going to adhere this on like so. And since I'm not like directly over it like I usually would do it, I just got to kind of peek at it a little bit here. So it's going the right way. Okay. All right, so there is that part of it. So it's kind of unusual, right? Kind of different, but I'm going to go ahead and I want white on the inside because you want to be able to write and stuff. But I also want to put a sentiment. So this one has "Thank you for everything. I'm so very happy for you. Here for you now. You're absolutely amazing." And I think what I'm going to do is, even just like a circle would look nice, but yeah, I'm just not too sure how I want to do it. So I think what I'm going to do is, what do you think? Maybe this one would be good on there. Just like a center one, and I could cut that out. So I'm going to find myself some white, and I'm going to stamp that on there, and then I'm going to cut it out with my die thing, my die cutting machine. I'm going to cut it out with this. So I'm going to get my Night of Navy in here, and I'm just going to make that centerpiece. Now this, yeah, this is the outline one, which is what I wanted. Okay, nice. And then I could put just like no, I'm going to cut that out. So anyways, I can use, now they have this one right. I have it off of here somewhere else. There's a color, one that colors in your, it's like a two-step stampings, and it does the coloring portion of it. And so I wonder if I want to use that or if I just want to use this. That or this. Such decisions. Okay, so now you just kind of got to spin it around till it looks right and you can find which way it goes. You know, sometimes I think what some people do is find how it goes and then you mark it somehow. I haven't done that with this one yet. So I haven't had this much trouble finding it either. Wow. Is it that way? Oh, here. I think we're getting there. Ooh, I'm getting there. What do you think? Close. Now I just need a little tape. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. So now I want to cut this out. But I got to get it back into place now because I've been moving it. There we go. Okay. Any day now, huh? All right. Then I'm going to grab my thingy-jingy. Now I have the old one, the old stamp and cut and emboss machine. I don't have the new one yet, but someday, whoops, that's not the way I want to go. Okay, someday I'll get one of the nice new stamp and cut and emboss machines. But for now, I'm just going to cut this one out like that, and my whole table's probably shaking all over the place. Making everybody seasick. Hope not. There! See? Isn't that cute? It is the same image that's on here, only it is, of course, white and just like right in the center there. So that'll be a nice little focal point. But do we want to color it? I know I want to put it up on dimensionals. Dimensions. And I'm going to close up my ink. Well, actually, I'm going to be wanting to stamp a little. I do want to make a sentiment on there too. But let's go ahead and put our dimensional on the back of this. I think this is my piece that goes on the inside. Here's the dimensional. Okay. I can get this out of the way too, can I? My inky fingers. Oh. Wow, that's terrible. I'm going to need to clean those off. I think I have a baby wipe around here for that very reason. Okay. And then like I said, I want to make a banner, just a little one. This is going on the inside. I could have put a little more of that glittery stuff there. But no need, you don't have to do that, right? So let's get this stuff down before I get everything dirty with my fingers, all full of ink. It'll get all over the back. Just gotta be careful. Okay. And I'm gonna just add a little bit in the corner. But I'm going to stamp off first and just have a little image there. And then, what do we want to say? Now, the inside and the outside needs the sentiment yet. And I think we're talking about or looking at, thank you for everything. You're absolutely amazing. That would work. I'm here, here for you now and in better days ahead. That's kind of nice too. Here for you now and in better days ahead. I think that's, so on the inside where I want to put and in better days ahead. And so I'm going to grab my sentiment block. Let's see, I have a long enough one here. I think that'll work. It's kind of pushing it. Nope, I need a longer one than that. Alrighty, so I'm going to grab a better one. This isn't the one I wanted, but it'll work. And I want to kind of have it straight. Let's see. Let's turn that around and get that on there. Now I'm going to try to avoid getting ink all over the place if I can, except for having it say "and in better days ahead." So what do you think? Am I going to make it? Am I going to be able to do it? With all this ink everywhere? Oh boy. Okay, let's just attempt. Oh, I just got one right there. I'll have to clean that up. And in better days ahead. Shoot, I was so close, you guys. I'm gonna be having to like do the dishes later. I have so much stuff here. Okay. Now this one says the "Here for You Now," and that is going to go on the front. Of course, we have a whole lot going on here, so I'm going to want just to put this on white and cut it out. So I can use the other part of this one that I had punched out of, and I don't know, I might have gotten the ink everywhere, so I might kind of make a mess, but it didn't. Yay, I got lucky. And so I just want that sentiment cut out, and let's see which one I want to use for that. It's oh no, this one's old. So I think what I'm going to do is, this might be, that would work. It's kind of big though. I don't know, kind of big. I'll try it. I'll cut it out, and then if it's too big, then we can cut it out with something else. So we're gonna run this through. I need to grab some of this tape off, and we will cut this piece out, and I'll try to get it straight. That would be helpful. All right, so going like that. Okay, and then I gotta get that big old machine up here again, and I have to figure out where I put my plates. I ended up putting washi tape on my plates because I could not find them. They would I would be stamping away, and then they're clear, of course, and so then I couldn't find them. So then I put washi tape on them, and that helps. And it was before they were all nasty like this, because now it's a lot easier to find them when they're not as clear. Now they're all beat up, and they're a lot easier to find when they're all beat up. Okay, I'm grabbing the machine. We'll crank this through. I'll just go part way. Grab that off of there. Ooh, what do you think? Sorry, I probably went way off of the "Here for You Now." Yeah, I just got to get that little one out of there, but it's got kind of that cute scallop on it. And we'll adhere that on. And we'll put that on here. This is a lot going on, so it's really easy for a lot of this to get lost, isn't it? So I don't really like that part of it, that it's gotten so busy. And if I had made a full-size card, it'd probably been a lot better, because then I would have had more room for all of this. So it is what it is, and it's just going to show 3 sides mainly. I think is kind of what I'm going to end up doing. It'll still show through, but yeah, I don't know if I like this one as much. I'm going to show you some other samples that I made that maybe look a little better. I don't know. You know how it goes. You're kind of going on the fly and kind of deciding as you go just what you like and what you don't. So, okay. I'm trying to see where we're at here. Here for You Now, and I'm going to put some little rhinestones on there too, because that makes a difference. And then, and in Better Days Ahead, with a big blob. So I have a sanding eraser that I usually use for that. And that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is just, you know, trying to get that off of there. And then whatever doesn't come off, I'll be able to put, I am going to be able to maybe kind of get that white jelly pen thing, 'cause that's pretty bad blob. Sometimes they're pretty subtle, but this one's pretty bad. I'd have to put a gem on the inside of this card. Okay, unfortunately I'm having to show my messiness, but let's find these guys. Okay, and I'm going to put blue on this one. Let's go. I'm going to put a blue here, and I am going to put two smaller ones, I think, not the big. These are the holiday rhinestones, but they have, you know, so many cool colors in there. Lots of pretty ones on this one. Okay. Winkostella would also be something I would normally probably do on here. I'll show you some other samples, but just a little hint of the glittery ombre paper it's showing there. And Here for You Now, and In Better Days Ahead. I like it. I like it. I hope you do. It's using our masks. What did we call it? Reverse masking, right? I'm going to close up my ink and show you some other samples I made. All right, so here was the one that I used with this one, okay? And this I used on a few different projects. Gosh, I have such a messy tabletop. So one of the ways that I did it wasn't blue. The other ones weren't blue at all. In fact, so that you can even see things properly. Hang on, I just want to cover this, like turn it over or something. There we go. Otherwise everything gets lost, okay? So here's one example. And this one I did the fresh freesia, and I used that same, what do you call it, stencil type thing that I had made out of the cardboard. And then I cut it in half, and I used it on two different cards. So the card base on this one is that polished pink. I had the same sentiments on this one as the one that I just used. Here for You Now and In the Days Ahead. I used some of the pink, is it a Shimmer Vellum that I used on this one. You kind of see that. And I used Winkostella. I used the three of the, actually these are the in color rhinestones. I used some of the white gel pen on the center of those. And then this must be the Fresh Freesia new ribbon for this year. So that's that one. I hope I'm showing you that okay. Kind of different, huh? Then similar to that one was the other half. So I cut it in half. This piece was like that. You can probably imagine, right? So I cut it in half to put it on two different cards. This one was horizontal. This one's vertical layout. I used that big ribbon there. It's so big though. Woo. And here is the ombre paper in the purple color. You're absolutely amazing. And here are the three colors. I just colored those with the blends and put a little Winkostella and some of the pink. What was that pink color again? It's called Polished Pink. Polished Pink gemstones on that. Thinking of you, or thank you for everything is what it says there. You're absolutely amazing. Okay, so that was that. So this was the other one I had made using that cardboard piece. Now some other ideas I came up with, that's another one. I just used some paper and cut out one of the scalloped edges, one of those in that set, in this set. So I used, let's see, is this one maybe? Yeah. I used the second one, or actually it'd be the third because there is another one that goes here. So 1, 2, this is the third size. And so I used that as a reverse mask. So then I wanted anything inside of here to be in my showing in color on my card front. So what I did was I kind of had it sideways like this, and I did the sponging with the greens this time. Just Jade was mainly what I used here. I did stamp it with this stamp from that same set. That was this one, and it does cut out. There is a die for that one as well, although I didn't use it on this project. And so this one, I did put it on the Evening Evergreen base, and I don't know, it's just kind of different. It's got some ribbon here, and 3 of the gems I used blends to kind of color it, and then to make the little white, I just used my gel pen again to make the little dots in the scallop there. So I don't know, something kind of different, right? And then another one, probably not my favorite, but another example is doing the same thing, and then actually cutting it out with the actual die, and so then popping that middle part up on dimensionals, and then putting those on there for the gemstones. 1, 2, 1 must have fallen. Oh, here's the other one, 3. I usually do 3. Sponged on some of that color here, put it on the evergreen base again too. So I don't know what to make of that one, if I like it or not. I don't know what my favorite is either. We have those two. I kind of like this one now that I have it done. I don't mind that. And these are kind of pretty too, something real different. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, guys? Oh, hey, we made it. I don't know if you have any questions or anything for me. Ooh, today's a wild hair day. Ooh, sorry about that. Scary. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for tuning in. Leave the words off the front. Yeah, I could have done that. I did cover up one of them. Or maybe just make a real narrow strip. That might have worked better too. But yeah, everybody kind of has their own way, right? So I have hopefully given you some ideas at least. You can make it your way, and I would love to see what you guys come up with. You know, don't be afraid to show me some examples if you try it. You could do this with any of our punches, any of our dies, that kind of thing. So thank you, Joanne. Thanks for coming on. And everybody who watches later in the replay, feel free to share and tell everybody, and build the team and have some fun and do some crafting. So all right, so I am going to let you be, and we will see you next Thursday, and maybe I'll be able to use up some of the stuff that we could get. Well, probably, okay, so we can, as a demonstrator, we can do pre-order, which I know some of you on right now know that because you're demonstrators too. But when May 4th comes, we can order anything out of the catalog, whereas right now we just have limited items that we've been able to order. So May 4th will be is that Wednesday, so then I'm coming on Thursday. So I probably won't have anything new because I'm not going to be the one to spend a lot of money and have it shipped overnight, you know. But anyways, we're going to be able to dive into a lot of those new things over the coming weeks, which I really look forward to. I especially love the one that looks like an alcohol ink background, because I love doing that. You probably saw, I don't know, I've been kind of alcohol inking things around my craft room, and just for fun. I don't know, I just can't leave the surface white, I guess, on a tool anyways. But okay, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. Take care. We'll see you in next week. Bye, guys.